Hello, everyone. This is Lurley Rourke from It's Not About Food podcast. And today we're going to be talking about the idea or the weird thing about feelings and fat thoughts. So the goddess is standing and her little deer animal has a question mark on her head. And around the thought bubble, it says too fat, too flat, too big, too little, too flabby, too old, not enough yet, not good enough yet. And it's just going around and around in her head. And those are called fat thoughts. And the feelings behind the fat thoughts is sort of what we're going to talk about today. It's such a weird phenomenon, and a lot of people have it for a lot of different things. That, for instance, if you can't feel your feelings, or you don't want to feel your feelings, or you don't know how to feel your feelings, a lot of times we blame those feelings on something else. And for many of us, the something else is our bodies. We come from a fat-phobic society. We come from a perfectionistic society. We come from a place where we're all supposed to be crushing it at every second. So if you're just like a regular person and you're not living up to your best person that you could be, like 24 hours a day, we start to think it's us instead of it's the pressure from society. And it gets too much for us to think about, like, I'm really messing up all the time. But we're not. We're just being human. We're just bumping along on our own little path. But there's a lot of pressure to be doing something different than what you're doing. I have a friend that has been clean and sober for many, many years. She's done service. She's done ashtrays. She's done pick up the cups. She's done set out the table. She has done clean up the table. She has taken a potato salad to every little thing that there is that the AA meetings do. She's done a lot of stuff in this long. But she will get down on herself and say, I'm too fat, and I'm getting too old, and I'm not doing enough, and I'm isolating. But really what it is she is not living up to some sort of ideal that is put out, or she feels is put out by her program, that she should be calling a newcomer like 3 times. She should be meeting with people. She should be sponsoring a lot of people. Not that that's not important and not good, but she puts it on herself. And I said, maybe you've done it enough. And now you get to skate for a little while because you are staying clean and sober. The reason why we do, these programs do all these things is it keeps you sober. It gives you meaning and purpose in life. She's already got meaning and purpose in life. And she already does a lot more than other people do. So what I'm saying is that we're okay. We're humans. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to grow old and not be able to do the things that we used to do. 8 o'clock for a night meeting is pretty late when you're older and you don't see well at night to drive a car. So what I'm saying is that we still put this pressure on ourselves, and we also feel it from others that we should be doing all of this stuff. So I should be thin. I should fit into the same dress I wore in high school. I should eat healthy. I should eat completely sustainable, and I should know the chicken that laid that egg. There's just a lot of pressure to jump through all these hoops and be superwoman, but also regular woman, but also a good grandma, but also a good citizen. And, there's so much pressure to be perfect, actually. And so the feelings and fat thoughts could just be feelings and perfectionistic thoughts of that I'm not doing okay. So I will pick on myself because I am feeling some way guilty, not good enough, not doing enough, ashamed of my age or, whatever it is. So I guess I'm trying to say that if we can recognize that we are trying to live up to a ideal that we'll never really be able to live up to, and if we make a mistake or we have a big feeling, we can just feel the feeling, but not think that we should be doing something different in a different way, that we should be thinner. Like if I have a feeling like, I am afraid of being lonely when I get much older. I'm afraid of that feeling if I'm lucky enough to live, that my friends die and my family dies and I'm left alone. I will start to feel that sadness, even though it's not even happening. But instead of feeling that, I'll say, well, I'm not taking good enough care of myself, so I'm not doing things right. Or I'll start to pick on my body. I'll start to pick on, I don't know, whatever. It doesn't really matter what you start to pick on. My food, my body, my time, my money, my whatever. So if I can stop, if I recognize it, first of all, I recognize I'm doing that, and I stop and go, wait, it's not really about this. What is it really about? The tears will come immediately. I'll say, there's a little small voice, it'll say, I am really scared. I'm really worried. I'm really not happy with that. My life might be over sooner or later because every year I get older. And we're not taught to just be with what is. I wasn't taught that. I was taught, well, if you don't like what it is, then you change it. And whatever that meant at that time, to change it. Get another husband, get another car, get another house, get some more other clothes, go to a different school, have a different job. Always, always, always doing something. Being a human, as John Bradshaw says, being a human doing instead of a human being, which is like not really possible for a long, long time. So with time and practice and a lot of compassion and love to ourselves, we can feel those underlying feelings. We can go through them. I have clients that say, well, then what do I do with the feelings? Maybe nothing. Maybe you just feel them. Maybe there's nothing to do. I'm very sad about my mother dying 10 years ago. Well, there's really nothing to do about that other than miss her and feel the loss of her and the grief of that. That there's not any fix, We're always trying to fix. At least I was always trying to fix, I should say. And even when I don't try to fix, I seem to run into people that do want to fix it too. So I have to say, this is my feeling. I'm having a feeling. You can't fix it. I appreciate your help, but I'm going to just go through this little feeling and it'll be okay. I will get to the other side. I won't be lost in my feelings forever. So what this will lead to is that we get to know our deeper selves. We get to know ourselves holistically, body, mind, and spirit. We get to know who we are, what we need, and what we hope for. And I think that's a wonderful thing, that if I was always busy with how I could improve or do things different, and not that you can't shift and change and grow, because of course we can. We can always learn new ways of coping. But what if it was okay? What if you're just okay? What if that's okay if you're okay? And what if we can just be with ourselves with this idea that this is just a practice anyway. Let's just see if I can sit with this feeling. Let's see if I can sit with this feeling. Let's see if I can be with this pain, with this arthritis, with this change in my life. Let's just see if I can do that. Then we get to be in our deeper selves, and that gives us the power to change difficult experiences, because it lets us know when something is really difficult, not just when we can't get a plastic bag at the grocery store anymore. It needs to be much bigger than that to have this much energy behind it. So I think one important thing is to sort of make a list of, what are my fat thoughts? What are my bad body thoughts? What are my I'm not good enough thoughts? And sort of make a list of those. And then take a look at them and go, is that really true? Or if I didn't have this thought, if this wasn't where I was going with this feeling, where would I be going? And I guarantee you, our emotional selves, they want a seat at the table too. So they will come forward and say, yeah, none of that. I'm just really scared. None of that. My body hurts. None of that. I just feel sad. And then you've got the real feeling, you've got the real thoughts, and you can work this through with yourself. So I really hope that that this isn't too like, ooh, woo, 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 or too airy-fairy, or too crazy, that you can kind of get your head wrapped around this, that really there's an old hippie saying from the 60s, don't believe everything you think. And that's a really good rule of thumb. But also listen to yourself. So I think we can believe everything we feel. And then our brain catches up with that feeling. So really appreciate you listening to my podcast and my video today. And we'll do another one next month. And I really appreciate you being here. Please become a Patreon supporter. And I would love to have you be one of my little gang. And thank you very much for being here. Appreciate it. See you next month.